This is the Duchess, Abby Messerly from the Hickory Street Hellraisers, and you're listening to Doggie Time on DentonRadio.com.
Thaddeus Q. Tweedy, Doctor of Philosophy and Dean of Men at Potts College, is a devotee of the bassoon. It is a musical instrument which is extremely difficult to play. Dr. Tweedy's old English sheepdog, Baldy, wishes it were impossible.
Look, would you cool it on the ad-libbing? Because the last time you did that, it threw everybody off. See, what happened was you started ad-lib and then went on 10, 15 minutes, and everybody was totally confused. The musical director quit, you recall.
Be sure and join us tomorrow when we'll hear Mary say,
"It's doggy time."
And we were talking about Army men, and I was telling her, you could get a bag this big of 100 Army men. So we all had like 42,000 of these things, right?
Till the little green congressmen that came in the package cleared them for attack.
Oh, there you go.
And so, and there was a lot of little green paperwork.
And then you had little green CNN. They had the camera on top of the little green hotel.
Yeah, there was a little green Lisa Ling right in the middle of all of it.
We sat there watching the little green shock and awe.
Yes.
Yeah, there was shock and awe. Paws up, my cats and kittens. You're listening to Doggy Time on DentonRadio.com. I am your host and humble narrator, Bone Doggie, here to remind you that brevity is the soul of wit. That's it. That's all I got. I'm done. That's brevity, soul, wit, done. Just saying. Pretty much sums it up right there. If you want to be honest about it, you want to walk down that road. All right, now my cats and kittens, we have a very sad subject to discuss before we get on with the show tonight, and that is that we are all mourning the passing of a dear friend, of somebody that has been with us most of our lives, and he just had gone this week, gone home, I guess, as they say, and that, of course, is the legendary, the one, the only Big Tex, that giant statue down there at Fair Park, and he went out in glory, a blaze of glory, literally. And we're not making light of this thing. It's just that it's kind of odd. I was reading a story here that was written by Deanna Boyd from the Fort Worth Startlegram, and it's really bizarre. It is on a website, my cats and kittens, called Firehouse, and apparently this whole website is about fire. It's a pyromaniac's dream. They've got a deal about careers here and emergency vehicles and operations, firefighter safety and stuff like that. And so anyway, I'm looking at this story here, and yes, Big Tex down there, the big icon at the State Fair of Texas, caught on fire. And I'm reading a story, and it's like an obituary. It's really weird. It's October 20th, Big Tex, the larger-than-life icon that has greeted visitors to the State Fair of Texas for 60 years, was consumed in a Friday morning fire. He was 60. And I read that, I went, oh my gosh, this is going to get nuts. And so this woman starts talking about the story, and they believe apparently that the fire was caused by an electrical short in Mr. Tex's, quote unquote, right boot. Broke out shortly after the State Fair's 10 a.m. opening. And they've got a woman quoted here, Ann Goodwin, she's 71 years old, said she had just walked past Mr. Tex, and when his howdy folks announcement caused her to glance up his way, and she looked up and there was smoke coming out of the back of his collar of his shirt. And apparently she looked at a woman that was passing by, and it looks like Big Tex is a little hot under the collar over something, quote unquote. That's Texas. My cats and kittens, that is a Texas person right there. Just immediately the mind snaps into gear, and you get a quote like that. So that's pretty awesome. So apparently, she said, looked up to, and sure enough, there was a fire in his neck. And the pictures I had seen, my cats and kittens, is that the fire was literally pouring out of the collar of the shirt and just started to consume the top of this statue. And she said, Miss Goodwin said, I just started taking pictures, and then the fire broke out in his fly area. It was a little embarrassing. I know this is a sad occasion, but that is one of the most hysterical things I've read all week. That was just awesome. So anyway, it appears as if the structure just served as a chimney. And if you ever wondered what this thing was made out of, we still don't know, but it definitely was flammable. It started out in the bottom of it, and the fire came up and just ate the whole thing. I think it took 12 minutes to burn up. And it was quite shocking. And literally, the New York Times, the Huffington Post, I mean, this was news. It made Drudge Report. Big Tex going up in flames was a big news item. It was a national news item, my cats and kittens, so that was kind of interesting. It says here that Mr. Tex had been a favorite background fixture for family photographs at the State Fair for decades. Well, quite true, quite true. The gentle giant, quote unquote, had originally worked from 1949. They give this thing a human. The gentle giant had originally worked from 1949 to 1951. He started out as a giant Santa Claus for the town of Cairns, which is kind of odd. And then in 1951, he was bought for $750. Those are $1951. Bought for $750 by businessman R.L. Thornton, who was the president of the State Fair at the time, and he later became the mayor of Dallas, and now he's a freeway. And it was transformed, the statue was transformed here by Dallas artist Jack T. Bridges. In 1952, he made his debut as Big Tex at the State Fair, decked out in Western garb, including size 70 boots and a 75-gallon cowboy hat. Now, I got to tell you, my cats and kittens, Big Tex was an amazing thing to me. But when I first saw him, I wasn't quite young. Actually, I was a teenager. I was a good 17, 18 years old. It was amazing. It was a great statue, and definitely a big Texas thing. Creeped me out. Got to say, it creeped me out. But so did clowns. So you can take that for what it's worth. So anyway, after they bought Big Tex and they stuck him up, about a year later, he began talking. And though his voice sometimes changed through the years, his Texas drawl was always present, and he belted out greetings of State Fair visitors, including his trademark howdy, which even he spoke in Spanish, apparently, in times, buenos dias. So that was kind of neat. In 79, Mr. Tex received an extreme makeover. Okay, this is a statue, my cats and kittens, granted, 70-foot tall statue, and in 1970, this story says, Mr. Tex received an extreme makeover. In real life, Amusements Incorporated turned him from a man made of iron pipes from the oil fields into a man of steel who tipped the scales at 6,000 pounds. The thing was huge. He also began waving that year, so they started automating Mr. Tex. Because of his excitement over his new clothes maker, Fort Worth-based William Dickey Manufacturing Company. I don't understand that. Oh, I'm saying he also began waving that year, probably because of his excitement over his new clothes. So Mr. Tex was obviously excited, and so he started waving because of his new outfit, which was actually Wranglers or Levi Strauss. In 1997, Dickies began providing an 80-pound pair of jeans to encircle Mr. Tex's 284-inch waist, the shirt for his 31-foot chest, and the kerchief for his 100-inch neck. Dickies is proud to have been the official clothier of Big Tex over 15 years. You don't really think of a clothier for a statue, but, we are in Texas, so we got one. And so the company said in a statement released Friday, although we're saddened by today's news, we're confident that together with the State Fair of Texas, Big Tex will return better than ever in new Dickies apparel. Well, we certainly hope so, because the thought of a 60-foot or 70-foot naked man standing in front of the fairgrounds may be very metropolitan, my cats and kittens, but it just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't right. So anyway, we want to RIP our brother Big Tex, who gave his life to the State Fair of Texas.
Hey, this is Ashley Gatta from Ashley Gatta and the Free People.
This is Bone Doggie from Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers.
This is Jake Laughlin, president of DentonRadio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar audio version is now available for purchase, so make sure you pick up your copy today.
And my cats and kittens, be sure to stay tuned to DentonRadio.com to hear about more live events happening around town.
For an email update the next time we are live near you, just email the word seminar to contact@DentonRadio.com.
And to submit a question for consideration to be answered at the next event, simply email that question to contact@DentonRadio.com.
The DentonRadio.com Performance and Public Speaking Seminar.
We hope we can help you take your music to an entirely new level.
Can you dig it?
We can dig it.
Ashley doesn't dig it. You know, I knew you weren't going to dig it when you walked in here. You just had that "I'm not going to dig it" on my face.
I'm sorry.
Well, okay.
Okay, we need to redo the
We're going to have to kill you
thing
now.
that we all say at the same time.
Yeah. Can you dig it? I can dig it.
I can dig it.
Okay.
I can dig it.
Okay. Finally, you can dig it.
Sorry, I followed the script. It wasn't on the script.
I'm going to hold you to dig it.
And now, friends, another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Some unfortunate people have no other medicine but hope. Me, I've got NyQuil. Bam Bam Cares.
Tune in next week, friends, for another edition of Bam Bam Cares.
Good evening, and welcome to another episode of The Inventor's Corner, where we bring you a glimpse into the exciting world of new technology. I'm your host, Ralph Roberts, and our special guest today, Mr. Hiram Dinkfelder. Now, Mr. Dinkfelder, what exciting new inventions do you have for us today?
Well, how do you do, Mr. Roberts? First, I would like to thank you very much for having me on your show. And I think it would be interesting to remind your listening audience that we have never worked together before.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Dinkfelder. Now, if we could just have a look at your new invention.
Well, Mr. Roberts, my exciting new invention is a handy-dandy little household item that I like to call the Automatic Bread Crispier. As you can see here, it is quite compact and self-contained.
Wait just a minute. This is your invention?
Oh, yes, indeed, Mr. Roberts. Now, all you have to do is to plug this into the wall and insert any slice of standard household bread into this slot here on top, and then press down this little lever here on the side.
Mr. Dinkfelder.
Yes.
Mr. Dinkfelder.
Yes.
That's a toaster.
No, Mr. Roberts, it is a bread crispier. Although, you know, that name is rather catchy. I might use that. I like that.
Mr. Dinkfelder, it's a toaster. A common household toaster. It's still got the brand name on it, for God's sakes.
Oh, no, Mr. Roberts. That is actually a plaque with my two sons' names, Blake and Decker. Unfortunately, the E fell off.
Right. Well, let's move on here, shall we? What else have you got?
Well, Mr. Roberts, my next invention is a bit more ethereal, if I may use the term.
Yeah, I'll bet.
My next invention is what I like to call live Denton music.
Live Denton music?
Yes, this is a system of entertainments that I've arranged in the town of Denton, where patrons can visit a place of purveyance and listen and watch live music, performed by a virtual myriad of talented individuals I have employed.
You're just a huge fraud, aren't you?
Not only that, but listening to live Denton music gets your shirts shades wider and actually improves your gas mileage. So
you call yourself an inventor, and then you waltz in here with a Black & Decker toaster, and then claim to have invented live Denton music?
I can assure you, Mr. Roberts, that these inventions are legitimate. I have a certificate from the University of Waterloo in Australia. I took a correspondence course there.
Look, just get your junk and get out of here, all right?
What about the bus fare you promised me?
You're getting nothing except a bill for the last 15 minutes of my life you wasted. Just get out.
But I didn't get to tell the audience about my latest invention. It's called Space Phase. All right, my cats and kittens, it is about time that we wend our way into the wonderful world of the intranet and take a gander at who is gracing the stages in the lovely town of Denton this week. Let's see, at Haley's, which is 122 Mulberry Street here in Denton. Friday night, October 26th, we got Ella Minnow. I like that. The boxing lessons, Tree Lines, they're going to be there. That show is at 10 p.m. The cost is $5 to get in the door. You can go over there, and Kitty and company will take care of you. And then Saturday, the 27th, Ishii is going to be there. That show's at 10 p.m. And the cost for that, Jewel, is $10. So that's what's going on at Haley's. Rubber Gloves Rehearsal Studio, which is 411 East Sycamore Street in Denton. Friday night, October 26th, we got Buck 65 is going to be up there. That's at 10 p.m. The cost is $12 at the door. I believe it is $14 if you are under 21, and the age limit on that is 17 up. And then Saturday, the 27th, at Rubber Gloves, we got Mothership, The Spectacle, Red Light Kills, Shaolin Death Squad, The Fuss, and Trebuchet. That is going to be one killer show, my cats and kittens. Apparently it's going to be a costume show, and we've got Mothership is going to be Motorhead. The Spectacle is going to be White Zombie. Red Light Kills is going to be Black Sabbath. That's great. These next two would be great sets to play. Red Light Kills is doing Black Sabbath. Shaolin Death Squad is going to be Weird Al Yankovic, and that's going to be, if I've never told you, cats and kittens, the greatest concert I have ever seen in my life, and I have seen many of them, including some of the greats, B.B. King and people like that, But the best show ever is Weird Al Yankovic. I've seen it 5 times. So Shaolin gets to do Weird Al, so that's going to be a blast for them. The Fuss is going to be Alkaline Trio, and Trebuchet is going to be Failure. And so, there's going to be a lot of good music going on that night, and a lot of theater, I imagine. So that ought to be a lot of fun. That's at Rubber Gloves over there on Sycamore, 411 East Sycamore, and that will be Saturday the 27th is when that's going on. Over Dan's Silverleaf, Friday the 26th, we got White Horse. Dan Silverleaf is 103 Industrial Street in Denton, Texas. And like I said, Friday night, got White Horse going on over there. And then the cost is $10 to get into that one. The age limit is 18 and up on that. And then Saturday, my cats and kittens, Dan Silverleaf is going to be paying host to Cirque du Horror, which is David Pierce's bunch, which is tied up with the Day of the Dead, and we are going to get into that in a few minutes, but that's going to be going on at Dan Silverleaf on Saturday, and I'll get into a little bit more detail with that. To get in to see Cirque du Horror is going to be $7, I believe $15 if you are under 21. I believe that's how that works over there, but there's no age limit there, so everybody can go see the show. Andy's Basement Bar and Grill, let's see, Saturday, October 27th, we've got Smells Like Someone Died. I'm just saying, that's what I'm reading here. And then we've also got Giant of the Mountain, so that's going to be a pretty metal night over there at Andy's Basement Bar. That's at 122 North Locust Street here in Denton. And then, as far as I'm concerned, as far as your humble host and narrator is concerned, the biggie, Abbey Underground, over there on Walnut Street in Denton. And we are going to have Bone Doggie's 8th annual Halloween Wayland Wood and Wire show. It's going to be Bone Doggie's 8th annual Halloween show. And we have quite the treat this year. Of course, our good friends, the Deadpan Poets, are going to open up the night. And we are going to have Tipsy Cups, who is from Whiskey Tongue Burlesque. Tipsy Cups has put together a troupe called the Pumpkin Patch Review Burlesque Show. So, you got Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers, the Deadpan Poets, and the Pumpkin Patch Review Burlesque Show. And this is all going to be going on at Abbey Underground. There is no cover, my cats and kittens, for this one. The age is 21 and up. The show's going to start about 9 o'clock. And you are to wear your costume, put on your ghoulish togs, and come out. There is no cover. We will be taking some tips for the dancers, though. We will be trying to raise a little bit of money, get some gas money. A lot of these girls are going to be coming from Dallas, and they're just excellent burlesque show. It's going to be a ton of fun. So come on out and check that show out. That is October 26th. at Abbey Underground. Now, my cats and kittens, on October 27th, as we have slightly alluded to before, we have got Denton's Day of the Dead Festival. And I'll just read it right off the Facebook thing here that David Pierce put on. It said, "This is free to the public. It's a festival that's held the last Saturday in October," that would be the 27th, from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m., my cats and kittens. It's an all-day event. Goes on Industrial Street and Hickory in Denton. They shut down the whole street, so basically the whole street is done up for the Dia de la Muertes, however you say it. It's a multicultural event, celebrates the many wonders and joys that fall brings. Mix a little Harvest Fest, a little Dia de la Muertes, a little Halloween, and a lot of Denton magic. And you get Denton's Day of the Dead Festival, and that's exactly what it is. We had the honor of playing there last year, and yes, my cats and kittens, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers will be playing there again this year, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so I'm going to back up a little bit. There's going to be lots of music, storytelling, dancing, and daredevil sideshows. They will entertain you, and you will enjoy all of that. There's also going to be arts and crafts and food from local vendors, games and activities for all ages. So it's going to be pretty wild. The event schedule. Let's check out the event schedule. This is for the Day of the Dead. At 9:30 a.m. is going to be the Zombie Dash. At 10 a.m. the festival is actually going to open over there on Industrial. At the Pumpkin Patch, which is the children's area, at 10:30 we got Zombie Dash goodie bags. At 11 o'clock, spooky storytelling. At 11:30, the Denton Child Bloom guitar program. At 12:30, we got spooky storytelling again. And then at 2:30 at the Pumpkin Patch is our good friend Polly Maynard. She's going to be up there and playing some of her Halloween stuff, and that's always a treat. That's always a lot of fun. So that's going to be going on. That's just for the kids. That's for the children's area. The main stage and miscellaneous is what it says. Now, at 1 o'clock, my cats and kittens, on Hickory Street is going to be the coffin races. And basically what that is a coffin Day of the Dead version of Soapbox Derby. So anyway, 2 o'clock on the main stage is going to be our good friends Bonnie and Nick Norris. And if you have not seen them, that's a good duo right there. They're excellent musicians. Been around Denton for a while and just lovely, talented people, so you'll enjoy those. At 3 o'clock, we got Cholo Rock, which sounds kind of funny. At 3:30 is going to be a salsa tasting, and that's outside of Dan's, probably on the patio area there where they have right by Dan's where the picnic tables are. At 5:30, we've got the Circus de la Muerte, and it is going to be quite the show. At 7 o'clock, will be the Twilight Costume Parade, and that's at Hickory Street and the Square. So I guess everybody's just going to kind of gather up there at Hickory Street and the Square and kind of waltz around and do a little parade. At 7:30, and I love these guys. I've always loved them forever, and I always pronounce their name wrong. On the main stage, 7:30 is going to be Mariachi Keitel. I think that's how you say it, Quetzal. And I think that's, like I said, I love these guys. I've known them for a couple of years, and I always pronounce their name wrong. And then, of course, on the main stage at 8 p.m., my cats and kittens, Bone Doggie and the Hickory Street Hellraisers will be doing the closeout of the main stage, and we are just going to tear that show up. We're just going to have a great time. Now, during the course of the day at Dan's Silverleaf, Cirque du Horror is putting this thing on. At Dan's Silverleaf at 4:30 in the afternoon, Cirque du Horror is going to be performing in there. And then 9 o'clock, Cirque du Horror will also be performing and finish out the night at Dan's Silverleaf. This is a whole day of entertainment, Halloween and Day of the Dead entertainment for the whole family. Everybody can come out and just hang out. There's food, there's drinks, there's vendors that are going to be having arts and crafts and stuff like that. So it's going to be quite the day. It's going to be a lot of fun. So y'all come out and do that. That is Saturday, the 27th of October. And once again, do not forget that the 26th of October, Friday night, up at, and I can do this because I'm the host, is going to be Bone Doggie's 8th annual Halloween show over at Abbey Underground. So it's going to be quite the evening, or quite the weekend, actually, for the All Hallows Eve spectacles. And of course, we did forget. Let me check out one thing here. We got Banter. I believe there's got some good buddies that are doing a Halloween show over there on Friday night. We got some classical guitar going on from 6 to 7:30 p.m. that night. And then the 8 p.m. show, our good friends, My Kick Drum Heart and my boys, 1140. So they're going to be tearing that up on Friday night. And then Saturday on the 27th, we got Link Shalon, Doug Rainey, and Pat York song swap. And if you know Link, if you know Doug, and of course Denton Radio's own Pat York, this is a scary trio right here. I mean, there's a lot of Halloween going on, but I can't think of anything that's quite more frightening than an evening with Link Shalon, Doug Rainey, and Pat York all on the same stage. So that's going to be going on at Banter. So if you're in for just, terribly frightening evening, you can go check those guys out. They're a lot of fun, and you're going to hear some good music. So anyway, that's what's going on in Denton, my cats and kittens. And if there's anything else that pops up, I'm sure you'll run into it. All right, well, that's what's happening in Denton this weekend. We hope to see you guys out and about. Visit as many of these venues and visit as many of these shows as you possibly can, my cats and kittens. Do a Halloween walk. That's all I can say. For Friday and Saturday night, we can all recuperate on Sunday, of course, until Sunday evening when we have got Bone Doggie's open mic over there at Abbey Underground. That show's going to start about... that's the 28th, and that show's going to start about 8:20 or so, 8 o'clock, 8:20 or so. And so far, headlining the evening, my good buddies from Dallas, the Matthews Show, are going to come up and play. We've also got Neil Mansfield. Dave Thomas is going to be there. Zaire Adams. Miss Pauline is going to be there as well. And oh, that woman's just got an amazing voice. She's a great musician. You're going to love her. And, I'm sure we'll have some buddies up there, and we'll do a little jamming and making a little bit of noise. So anyway, that is, like I said, the weekend in lovely Denton. And we hope to see you guys out and running about, supporting Denton music and supporting these venues and just having a good time. But be very, very careful out there, my cats and kittens. We're all going to be partying. We need to party careful, and we need to party safe.
Everybody, this is Karina Michaela. There are a lot of music venues in Denton, but I wanted to take this time to talk really quick about one I care about very much. Banter, a bistro at 219 West Oak Street, is one of the greatest places to play in Denton. From the open mic to CD releases, all of the artists there come together and support each other. The community at Banter is one unlike any other venue. Everyone is always inviting, complimentary, and true friends of every musician there. If you are an artist looking for a community that will embrace you, Banter is certainly the place you need to be. The address again is 219 West Oak Street, and their website is dentonbanter.com. Come hang out, get a sandwich or some hummus, and take in the local Denton music scene. Thursday night is open mic, and you are going to want to check that out. See you then!
May as well enjoy the sparkly lights. No point in putting up a fight.
All right, my cats and kittens, once again, it is wise, prudent, moral, and just to bring in a couple of guests here at the Doggy Time Show. And this evening, we are either blessed, cursed, or both to have the infamous and the famous Rob Solomon.
Hello.
And Chase Fowler.
Good evening.
And they are...
The Knocking.
Okay, very cool. You got that right. It just totally in sync.
Both of you. Flows real well off the tongue.
All right.
We're almost gay, but not.
Really?
But without the sexuality.
Well, almost gay without the sexuality.
Maybe I should stop talking.
Well,
yeah.
It's going to be a bad time to stop talking right now.
Is it too early to quit?
Yeah, way
Robbie
too early.
just likes to talk fluidly.
Yeah.
Filtering himself.
I don't understand half the things that
actually comes out.
Yeah.
You just kind of wing it, don't you?
I guess so.
Well, maybe that's why you're so good at improv.
No.
They do call him off the cuff McGuff.
Stop
that.
Dude, this is an awesome studio, Bone Dog.
It's cool. We've created a lot of mayhem here. I've actually written a lot of songs in here.
Nice.
Yeah. So at various times of the morning. There's a lot of times when I woke up in this chair like 5:30, going, wow, did I just fall asleep in here? So yeah, we spent a lot of time in here. And we have spent a lot of time together at Banter.
Yes. Indeed.
Right? We have
Fantastic venue.
When did you guys show up there? It was what?
3 months ago,
About
maybe?
4 months ago?
Yeah.
Not too long.
3 months ago.
What were you doing before that?
I was living in Prosper.
Good old Prosper.
Yeah.
Hot diggity darn.
Yes, sir. Out in the sticks.
Okay.
Actually, I lived not too far from what was his name? Big old house.
This guy's name is a big old house.
Big old Dallas football player.
Yeah. Well, Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
Deion Sanders.
Oh, prime time.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Huge place. Who I heard he got in a fight with his wife not too long ago too.
In Prosper.
Yes, in Prosper.
So that's got to make it to the local paper. First front page,
Yeah.
Primetime beats the hell out of us. No, Primetime beats the hell beat out of his wife.
She actually went to jail. That's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking out of school here, my cats and kittens. These are total rumors that we're spreading, and we are taking no responsibility for whether they're true or not. So,
Deion.
So, and where are you from?
I'm originally
Chase. I'm pointing at Chase right now.
Originally from Plano, Texas. Started moved
totally
over.
Not gonna hold that against you.
Yeah, I know. It's a bad thing. Plano clap.
Yeah.
Plano.
Yeah.
Well, we have dear friends from Plano. Kim Knoll.
As do I.
Plano.
As do I.
Levi Cobb and the Big Smoke are all from Plano. In fact, they're out there now.
Respectable folks from Plano, but
listen to this, Jesse.
Not my particular cup of tea. And
Plano's not?
No, Plano's not.
Really?
Really. I like it here in Denton, and I like it in Austin.
Do you like the more bohemian style
absolutely.
here?
Yeah. It's really chill here.
It's chill.
Yeah.
That's the new word this week. Bone Doggie has never used the word chill.
Chill.
With the exception of a martini. Okay, I'm just saying.
That's quite fitting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Maybe Guinness, but so how did you guys meet up? How did the knocking come into being?
Well, I went to high school with Chase.
That's kind of hard because you're in Prosper and he's in Plano.
Well, no, I lived in Prosper after high school.
Oh,
so
after.
Let me rewind. Just a second here. We went to Allen High School together, and we were in a class. It was a broadcasting class.
Really?
Our senior year.
Oh, very cool.
Where we had 3 hours every other day to do whatever we wanted.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
And we did not make use of that time wisely whatsoever.
Right.
Well,
obviously.
Chase and I started off as the weathermen on KGLE, Allen, Texas, and
really?
We started. How big is Allen? 4,000 kids.
4,000 or 5,000 kids. Yeah.
Darn.
So every other day we had an A day and B day. We were on A day. We
had about three minutes to liven up the broadcast.
And so was this like over the intercom?
Yeah.
Or
this was a full on.
radio?
They had projectors in the rooms, and they had TVs in every room, and it was like a news broadcast that they had every day.
Film broadcast every day.
So you started out as co-anchors.
Yeah, basically.
That's brilliant.
We started in the school with a green screen, and we had the what do you call it? Just the temperatures behind us, and we'd have a script and everything. And we just got tired of doing that green screen thing, so we decided, it's the weather. Why don't we go outside and show them what the weather's actually like?
Makes perfect sense to me. I love that. I love the spirit of that.
So what turned into what was a scripted ordeal every single day turned into we get to school and we just say, let's film here and wing the entire broadcast.
So we had about 3 minutes to
plan, and then
so basically this is the first time you guys were thrown together as far as performing.
I think we realized that we worked pretty well off of each other. We just bounced stupid ridiculous ideas off of each other.
Bouncing Stupid has made a lot of careers for a lot of people and a lot of my friends. So yeah, I hear yeah, okay.
At one point, I was.
I'm not going to drop any names. We could get in so much trouble. God knows who's listening.
And like bleep and bleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, we figured out that we worked really well together, and there was like a comical aspect about it, and the whole broadcast was so boring. And
did the guys like it?
Yeah, everybody in the school, you know, we'd have people texting us on our phone, you know, like, you know, what are you guys doing today? Like, that was ridiculous. Like, that was the only reason we watched it. So I think we thrived off of that.
We definitely tuned people in to the KHLE broadcast.
I'll bet the administration loved that. No, seriously, I'll bet they did.
Well.
Oh, really?
Well, here's the thing.
Do we need to turn off the microphones for a few minutes because I really want to hear this story?
No, we can't. We won't drop any names.
Let me just tell a quick ditty, real quick. Not to sound too redundant.
He said ditty.
Let me just take a puff from my. No, that was stupid.
Tell the ditty, dude. Come on, we're dying
I'm
here.
sorry. It was a crappy day outside. It was raining. It was sprinkling. There was clouds outside. And we just said, you know, today's a really trashy day. So what better place to film our broadcast for that day?
By the trash bins. By the huge trash.
Than by the trash bins that people see but never think to
visit,
stand around,
right,
or in,
or to search,
okay, right,
in, or around.
Clearly, you've never lived in downtown Dallas.
So,
well, this is Alan. You got to remember, this is Alan. Nobody knows what a homeless person is.
Those damn degenerates. But anyway, we're searching around this trash can. Making nonsense, talking about the trashy day, you know, trying to correlate the fact that we're standing in front of a trash can for a reason.
Right.
And I find this banana peel in the trash can. So
shocking.
I'm sitting there, we're talking, we're just wasting time, just improvising, and I forgot what we were talking about. I really love a video of that.
But anyway, so he grabs this banana.
I grab the banana, and I start, you know, moving it from side to side. And what did you say after that?
Well, Robbie said, "Oh, well, I got this banana. What should we do with it?" And I said, "Well, you should shake it." And so he was shaking the banana.
Okay.
And so we didn't, honest to God, we didn't think that there was anything wrong with that. And then we put it on in front of 5,000 people and faculty members and teachers, and
there was no innuendo.
This idea that we were trying to subliminally force this sexual innuendo into.
But apparently, everybody took it that way.
Yeah,
well, at least one faculty member took it that way.
That's all it takes, dude.
So that was our last appearance as the
Really?
Weathermen.
So you got sacked. Let me get this straight. You have this very successful thing going on, the campus television thing there, and everybody loves you, and you're a celebrity, and then, you know, you decide to have this great idea, and you go out by the trash can, you shake a banana on camera, and get sacked.
That's absolutely correct.
Okay, so the next step from that is, you know, a dead hooker in a hotel. You guys are rock stars.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when we knew it was fake.
Yeah. When did music come into this?
That's when music came into place, because we had to find something else different to do.
Right.
And we had to fill 3 hours of time with something, and we hated writing scripts and things like that for all the news anchors, and that was boring. So we took it upon ourselves
Especially
to.
with no bananas.
Yeah.
Oh God, it takes fun right out of it.
You can't shake bananas on
No
camera.
bananas, no fun.
I'll tell you what, you introduce a banana, it can be hysterical anytime.
It's a slippery slope.
It is. I don't know. If you can peel yourself away from something like that, then, you know, which is obviously you did, and you started writing songs together? Or?
Yeah, so we decided to take some of the school budget and talk to our teacher.
They let you take some of the budget?
After all this finagling, we talked him into building us a studio so that we could...
Really?
Yeah, studio kind of like this one right here with a Pro Tools setup and a keyboard.
Yeah. Awesome.
And some microphones, and so we started writing the jingles for the beginning and ends of broadcast and in between shows and stuff like that.
There's always a KGLE template that plays, and there's usually music from, I don't know who was playing at that time, Kelly Clarkson and Justin Bieber was coming up on the.
Justin, who is that skinny jean kid?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch the video online. He throws up on stage and his voice keeps going. How does that work?
Here on Doggy Time, we don't do skinny jeans. No. There's been much ridicule and gnashing of teeth because of skinny jeans.
Average size jeans are key.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, there's a template that used to play on KGLE with music, popular music, and we thought, why don't we just put our own original music?
Because you could only play 15 seconds
right.
of a copyrighted song. So we said, well, they want to play it for a minute in the beginning, so why don't we make a minute-long song and
awesome.
Have the people enjoy it more than this crappy music that we're already putting on there.
Apparently you enjoy doing it because this is how long this is.
That was 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago. And we made 40 to 50 songs
about 4
that
years
year.
Ago.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Every day we came in, turned it out sometimes in like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. That explains really big because when I first saw you guys, one of the things that I remarked to myself is how just tight you guys are, and you're real tight. A lot of duos.
Thank you, man.
A lot of duos you don't get that. I mean, you have a wonderful voice here and somebody good playing here, and they're working at it and everything. You see that stage at Banter a lot, you know, with the open mic with the youngins. You guys walked in and you'd already had basically your nucleus down.
Yeah.
And I went, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I like this, Nice. So you had obviously been doing it for a while. You started out, is keyboards your main instrument?
It's the only instrument
This is Rob, by the way.
Hello, I'm Rob. It's the only instrument I can play, admittedly, and I'm kind of embarrassed. I can play a few chords on the guitar.
Right.
But yeah, keyboards.
Well, good for you, because guitar players are a dime a dozen. No offense.
Hey, not taking it.
Okay.
Whoa.
Smart man. It's my damn room. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Don't get me started about guitar players. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've always just gone straight for the keys. It just made a lot of sense to me, and I enjoy it.
Well, I can imagine. I've always thought, honestly, if I played keyboards, if I could play piano, I'd probably never pick up another instrument. I love the bouzouki and all of that.
Yeah.
Piano is just, to me, I've tried, but not really hard.
Sure.
I've always been kind of a string guy. How long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing guitar for about 5 years.
So you basically,
6 years.
when you guys started doing music,
I had been playing for about a year before we started playing. Maybe 2 years, maybe 6 years. Maybe I've been playing for 6 years. I can't remember.
Does your piano playing go back that far? Or
I started when I was 12. So
a little bit of a
8-9 years
private lessons type thing, and
never took a lesson.
Really?
Never took a lesson.
Oh, you just made 50 points. Give this guy a round of applause. No, I have an applause track.
Oh, okay.
See, here it is right here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a great applause track.
That's awesome.
So anyway.
Thanks,
How'd
guys.
you fit all those people in here at once?
It wasn't easy, actually. Well, honestly, we did it in the garage. It's a little bit bigger.
Okay.
You're sticking in my shoes! Yeah, really. What's this and that? Get out. Oh!
Ouch.
So you guys get together, you start playing, and then you end up at Denton. You showed up at open mic, and you just been kind of slowly getting yourself into this town here. And
thanks to you, man.
My pleasure.
Much appreciation.
My pleasure, dude. You guys have really done really well. Speaking of, you played Thursday night, and you did a song. I guess it was your second tune that you did with some really choice harmonies.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos, I think.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yes, sir.
Can you play it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have a keyboard.
We don't
I'm
care.
gonna play guitar.
You play your guitar, and no excuses here on the Doggy Time show.
All right.
We have no budget, so we don't have to make any excuses to anybody. We just do what we do. All right, we're gonna do a tune here, my cats and kittens. And what is the name of this tune?
Chaos.
Chaos is the name of this song. All right, and this is The Knocking here live in the studio at Doggy Time doing their tune, Chaos. Which is kind of fitting because that's how the nights went so far. All right, boys. It's all you. it, my cats and kittens. That was the Knocking and Chaos.
Woo! Chaos.
And is this a new tune?
Brand new.
Yeah,
brand
new.
About 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's very beautiful, very mournful, which considering what a couple nutbags you guys are, you come in and write this soulful stuff.
We do every once in a while we do sit down and think about things. So
do you really? Oh, I just thought this was a chick catcher tune. That's all I was saying. Big net for the ladies.
Check this out.
There's a bit of a positive undertone in
Yeah.
that song.
There is.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, it is. You ain't got no home, but you just got to carry on, and the vocal break, like we were talking, that vocal break in there is awesome. Your harmonies are really good, and as that started, I guess, I know everybody works on their harmonies.
Sure.
And some people kill them on, except I do. I don't.
Robbie's killer with melodies,
Right.
killer with melodies. Whenever
Right.
we used to play a long time ago before the knocking ever started, he would always sing. I'd
Yeah.
play guitar and I'd sing like little,
Oh,
I'd sing like
yeah.
a real high, ridiculous harmonies and
I
stuff.
wish I could do that.
But I'm good at harmonies.
Yeah,
I'm
he really
real
is.
good at harmonies.
Yeah.
But this kid can his melodies is
That's
a
you
piece of
do.
cake.
That's one of the things I love about it is that you guys are very melodic.
Cool.
You know, and you do have really heavy melody and all of that, and they're pretty imaginative too. It's just the two of you. Have you pondered the rhythm section?
We have a guy that I've known for a long time that I've jammed with. The only other guy that I've jammed with that has had the same kind of chemistry
Right.
while we're playing
It's
that I
all
have with
important.
Robbie.
All
And
important.
we just play for 3 or 4 hours at a time and without stopping, and he
Drummer?
just changes beat. Yeah, just drummer.
Yep.
He can play with a snare, a tom, a hi-hat, and a cymbal, and a bass drum. It's super.
As far as I'm concerned, a good drummer, that's what they need.
Yeah, that's
You know,
and
I grew up when I was your age, and these guys are children, my cats and kittens. It was the Octoplus set, just this wall of freaking drums.
yeah, Neil Peart.
Keith Moon,
Oh, yeah,
Neil
yeah,
Smith
yeah.
from Alice Cooper. Those
Yeah.
guys had a contest,
Yeah.
and Neil Smith would call up Keith Moon and say, "How many drums are you using?" And Keith was like,
I
"I'm
need
probably
5
using
more."
about 15." And so Neil Smith always had one more drum than Keith Moon, and
Yeah.
it was just like this contest.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, every drummer I ran across had just this mountain of drums.
3 kick drums.
Yeah,
and
yeah, all that stuff, and then I ran into a guy who he reminded you a lot of Stuart Copeland from the Police. And he had a trap set that you could actually fit that closet right there. I mean, it was a little bitty trap set,
He's just there to
and
make rhythm.
I don't think his elbows ever went higher than his waist. He was all wrist.
Huh.
Just an incredible action, and I looked at that, and I'm going, wow, drummers can really do that, and so I've played with guys that had huge sets. I've played guys that have smaller sets. My drummer now has a very deliberate set.
Good.
It's a trap set, but I think he's got an extra ride tom.
Yeah.
What he likes, the cymbals and noisemakers.
Yeah.
Cowbell. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
crap
yeah,
like that,
It doesn't always
Cowbell
have,
solo.
it doesn't always have to be
Boing.
extravagant.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Not too simple, but sometimes simplicity, conveys
It's the most poignant.
Yeah, it conveys more of a message than.
Is it not true with watercolor? It's not important what you paint so much as it's important what you don't.
Sure.
paint.
Yeah.
And
Make that.
maturity, it's the same thing in music. What's not there is just as important,
Yeah.
And musicians with patience, and you guys definitely have patience. You don't run across that very often, is guys that could just lay back and let it come out the way it's supposed to be.
Sure. I like what you said about what you don't see or hear.
Right.
It's kind of like horror movies.
Yeah.
The scariest, horror movies are the movies that don't show the guy getting beheaded and the gore. It's
blood.
It's what you.
What's implied.
Yeah. What you
Yeah.
don't see. That's the scary because then your mind goes all these different places instead of.
And sometimes it can go
just
some
seeing it.
pretty scary damn places,
Yeah.
just
It's
all
the
by itself.
impossibility that scares you. It's
Yeah.
the, it's
Maybe
the
so.
unknown.
Maybe so.
I remember I read an article that Sting wrote. I'm not a huge fan of Sting, but
Right.
but at the same time, I think he's a musical genius. But he was
Brilliant
talking.
bass player.
Yeah, he was talking about how music basically is a frame. Whenever you create music, you're creating a frame around silence. You're creating a frame to encapsulate those tiny little bits of silence.
Right.
And I thought that was like one of the coolest things I'd ever heard.
Yeah.
And
it is.
Just,
it makes perfect sense.
You know, you hear a song that just never lets up, and by the end of the song, you're like, well, damn, I don't even remember what happened in that song.
Yeah.
But you get a song that leaves a big break, and then there's some harmonies, and then some guitar solo that takes you a bunch of different places.
Yeah.
And
Who are influences for you guys? I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours.
All right. Definitely the Beatles.
Yep.
That's
Beatles, Key, best band of all time.
Really?
Probably
Ever.
ish. Yeah, best band of all time.
Wow.
Zeppelin.
Yay, buddy.
Radiohead. Right now Radiohead is my
Radiohead's
favorite.
really good. I mean, those guys are players.
Yeah.
Tom York is a brilliant man. So is Johnny Greenwood.
Right.
He does things on the guitar that I've never seen anybody else do.
Sure.
Jim Morrison, The Doors.
Doors.
Right. Yeah. So there's a lot of classic rock in your background. So I take that come from mom and dad.
Yeah,
and personal
choices.
You discover it and you love it. You know?
We both feel like we've been.
My parents listen to the Carpenters.
The Birds.
Don't do the Carpenters. I did the Birds.
Yeah, I like the Birds. I like the Birds.
Yeah. Good harmonies. Good harmonies for the Birds and all that.
Air Supply.
Who?
I think we both.
I'd pretend no Air Supply. 10cc.
Just for the record, Air Supply is not one of my influences.
My friends, I suffered through disco.
Oh.
Huge. And when I pick up a Rolling Stone magazine, which was a rock magazine at the time, and on the cover is James Taylor, I knew I'm in for a problem. You know, and I waited 5 years for a new Led Zeppelin album to come out, and almost 7 years for a new Yes album to come out.
Yeah.
And so, but you told me yours. That's very cool. Mine.
Robert Johnson too.
Oh well.
Joplin,
that's early rock and roll.
Joplin, Airplane.
Robert Johnson is the beginning of rock and roll.
He is. He's the grandfather of rock
Yes,
and roll.
absolutely. Played with his nephew in Grapevine. Honey Boy Edwards, I believe, was Robert Johnson's.
Wow.
He was related to him somehow, nephew or something like that.
Did he tell you any stories about him?
No, he was 92 years old. We were both hungry and tired because we had just played a gig, so we just sat and yacked for a little while. There is a Honey Boy Edwards story, and it's hysterical, but we don't have time for it right now. But for me, Robert Johnson, big influence. I started out as a prog rocker. You know, if it wasn't Yes, Genesis, Jethro Tull, or 12 Minutes
Emerson,
Long,
Lake and Palmer,
ELP, oh, dude, Vandergraaf Generator, Aphrodite's Child,
I don't know.
And you got exactly. I could start ripping off bands you've never heard of before, but you would have if I played the tune.
Right.
Sure,
Yeah.
So I went through prog rock for a while, and right now, after playing for so long, I think Mark Knopfler, huge influence of mine. I rip off Dire Straits all the time. Just love it. Tom Waits, of course. You know, and the thing I like about Tom Waits is what he does to songs. He just bastardizes them. You know, with whatever instrument, household things and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see what you guys come up with when you finally land a rhythm section.
Oh yeah.
I'm really interested.
I dream about it, man.
Every night.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna bitch at you the minute you pick up an electric guitar, and I've seen you do it already. You know, but the minute you go metal, I'm gonna start throwing stuff right.
Oh man, I went
You're
metal.
gonna get a shoe right in the middle of your forehead.
No, I went metal for about 3 years, and then I realized, what the hell am I doing? I'm playing the same damn chords 1,000 times, except for this time I'm playing it faster, and this time I'm playing 32 chords instead of 31 chords.
When I was playing metal
I respect metal.
You do. You got to. You know, and when I was playing metal, it was Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
You know, that was the metal band. And what I loved about them is they used 7s and 9 chords.
Yeah.
You know, the occasional 13 thrown in there. You know, it's just really off the wall chording. Led Zeppelin was considered heavy metal.
Yeah.
You know, and stuff
I love
like
Dimebag.
Who? Dimebag?
Yeah.
I watched a hockey game with Dimebag. That's closest to Pantera as I ever got, really. You know, but Texas band, good old Texas boys, and they did the Dallas Stars thing.
Yeah.
Which at the time I was a rabid hockey fan.
Nice.
So yeah, I went through that whole deal. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and doing
Thanks
this.
for having
it's been
us.
a blast.
I appreciate
it. Very cool, and we will do this again.
Definitely. Definitely.
Awesome. Very cool.
Denton Radio. Thanks for listening.
DentonRadio.com.
That's right, and we have once again
The Knocking.
The Knocking.
featuring
Chase Fowler.
Yeah.
I'm Rob Solomon.
Or Rob Solomon and Chase Fowler.
Either
Either way you shake them up in a bag, my cats and kittens, you got the knocking. So stay tuned. What we're going to do now is dedicate our life to getting these boys in a studio.
Indeed.
We need recordings really bad.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, because as fun as having live here in the studio was, and it was very nice. I do appreciate it. But yeah, we need to get you on the radio.
Yes.
That would be outstanding.
So that's the goal for the next 6 months, I think.
Yes, that's what.
You know, and we'll bribe somebody, I'm sure. Maybe we could rob a bank. Do something like that. All right, my cats and kittens, we are going to say good night. So once again, we'd like to thank our guests, The Knocking, and remind you that this is Doggy Time, and you are listening to DentonRadio.com. Can you dig it?
Yes, we can.
I knew that you could. Look, oh man, you slobbered on my microphone, man. Look at that, not hurt his leg. Oh,
Out beyond the millstone pass, on a mountain topped with grass, there sits my mind trying to avoid emotion as she sits across from me. 'Cause she's my luggage charm, stowed away safe from the harm I do to her. But the baggage claim's still spinning round, and so now I'm running out of time to make a move. What to do? Is it her or is it me? But my mind's departed for that old familiar place, free from the stress and into space. Whoa. Then I snap back and realize that she's left me polarized. I can't let her in, but I can't ever let her go. 'Cause she's a part of me, and the rest wants to be set free from the worries and responsibilities. And again, I'm running out of time to make a move. Is it true? Do I really have to choose? But once again, my mind is taken far, far from this place, past the earth and into space. Up on the mountain, you can never find me. You will never find me. Oh no. 'Cause up on the mountain, nothing else can exist. Only I can exist. This time I come back and she is gone. Shouldn't have waited for so long, and I don't think she's ever coming back. I think I'm cursed to always be alone, but no commitment set in stone. The mountain in my mind's my only home. The time has finally run out and the choice was made for me. It's just me. I will always be alone. But either way, I always have the oasis in my mind, existing outside